Hello everyone. Today we'll do the revision of the chapter Mathematics of Finance. The main thing that we'll be discussing here is first I'll revise the formula section by section, and then we'll do some extra questions from starting from simple interest, compound interest, moving to annuity, and then the applications of the topics. Okay. So it's a marathon class, so it's a pretty long one. So hopefully you all have set it after revising it. Let's start. In mathematics of finance, the first thing that we talk about is simple interest and compound interest. What is the basic difference between simple interest and compound interest is in simple interest, the loan is always calculated on the initial principal. In case of compound interest, the loan is always calculated on the outstanding loan amount. Right. So if I'm calculating it for the first year, it doesn't matter whether I'm finding out simple interest or I'm finding out compound interest. But as soon as we move to the second year, it starts math, right? So in the second year, the simple interest is always going to be smaller. The compound interest will be calculated on the amount of the first year. For the third year, simple interest is again the same, but the compound interest will be calculated on the amount of the second year. So in compound interest, interest is also calculated on the previous year's interest. So in simple interest, our there's no monthly, half yearly, quarterly, any such thing. But in case of compound interest, we do have half yearly concept, we do have quarterly concept. If you tell me that there is a rate 12%, if it is yearly, then the rate will still be 12%. And if it is 2 years, the time will still be 2. If you are calculating, say, half yearly or semi-annually, then the rate becomes half, 6%. 1 year, there are two half-yearly installments. So in 2 years, there will be four half-yearly installments. Then comes quarterly. Quarterly is 4 parts in a year, and every 3 months there is a installment. So the rate gets divided by 4. So 12 by 4, 3%, and the time will be 1 year, 4 installment, 2 year, 8 installment. If it is monthly, then the rate gets divided by 12, so 1%, and the time. In 1 year, there are 12 installment. In 2 years, there will be 24 installment. So for yearly, the rate remains the same. For half yearly, it gets half. For quarterly, gets divided by 4. For monthly, gets divided by 12. And the time gets multiplied by the same factor, right? There's no such concept in case of simple interest. Okay. Then, so let's write the formulas first and then we'll move forward. In simple interest, the formula is P into T into R by 100. Amount will be principal plus SI. For compound interest, amount is P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power N. And this R by 100 was later on written as I. 1 plus I power N. And the compound interest, it is amount minus principal. So P 1 plus I power N minus 1. For half yearly, quarterly, it remains the same. Yes. Then we talked about formulas for double, triple, and all those years, right? So simple interest doubles in 100 by R years, triples in 200 by R. So if you can see the pattern, if I want 5 times, it will be 400 by R. If I want 10 times, it will be 900 by R. If I want 15 times, it will be 1400 by R. One less. In case of compound interest, it doubles in 72 by R years and it triples in 114 by R years. It triples in 114 by R years. Then we talked about if the difference between simple interest and compound interest is given for 2 years as D, then the sum of money principal will be D into 100 square divided by R square. Right? We can find out principal. I don't need time here. Time has to be 2 years, fixed 2 years. In that case, the formula for sum of money or the principal will be D into 100 square by R square. So out of three things, principal, difference and rate, two will be provided and the third we have to find. Any problem till here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Similarly, if the difference is written, difference between SI and CI. Obviously, CI is larger than SI at any given point of time. Okay, so is given for 3 years as D. Then the principal will be D into 100 cube divided by R square into R plus 300. Then we talked about that if a sum of money, if a sum of money deposited in a bank becomes A1 in T1 years, A2 in T2 years. In that case, the principal, the sum of money, that's cross multiplication, A1 into T2 minus A2 into T1 by T2 minus T1. That is the formula for principal. And last, if a sum of money becomes n times in T years, then it will become m times in under simple interest. Huh? Both of them are under simple interest. Whatever you want minus 1 divided by n minus 1 into T years. Into T years. Into T years. So using these, we will first do the sums of simple interest and compound interest. So for example, if I say that the loan amount is 1200, the rate is 6% and the time is 5 years. What will be the amount under simple interest? What will be the amount under simple interest? Calculate SI and then add the principal. So P into R into T divided by 100, which is 360. What is the interest here?
Yes,
Principal into rate into time divided by 100. Simple interest is 360. And if I want to find out the amount, add the principal, add 1200 to it. So what is the amount?
1560.
1560.
1200 into 6 into 5 divided by 100. That is 1560. At the rate of say 6%, how much does it get for a sum of money to get double under simple interest? And if the rate is 6% per annum, How much time will it take for a certain sum of money to become double under the concept of simple interest?
16.67.
16.67.
100 divided by R, that is 16.67, and to triple and triple
33.34.
30, no, it doesn't become 4. 33.3. 33.33. Clear? Now, if I talk about compound interest, if the principal is say 1200, rate is 6%, and time is 2 years, yearly, annually, how much will be the amount? So 1200, 1 plus I, what will be I?
0.06.
6 by 100.06 to the power 2. What's the answer?
1348.3.
1348.32.
And if I want to find out compound interest,
Minus the base goals. 148.3.
148.3. If the same calculation is done half yearly, I want directly compound interest. So if I want directly compound interest, we will use this formula, 1 plus I power n minus 1. So it will be 1.06 whole square minus 1 multiplied by 1200. Sorry, half yearly. So it will be 6% will become 3%. 6% under half yearly will become 3%. So it will be 1.03. Time 2 years will become how many installments in half yearly?
4.
4 installments.
4 minus 1.
150.61.
150.6.
If I have this quarterly, I want compound interest.
$151.79.
Very good. This will be 1 plus 6 by 400 to the power 8 installments. So 151.79. And if this is monthly, you divide 6 by 12, add 1, multiply it how many times? How many installments will be there in 2? In 2 years, how
24
many
installments.
installments? 24 installments. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
152.59.
Compound interest, guys, rest of you.
Yes, ma'am. 152.9.
152.59.
152.9.
Yeah. Then we talked about the concept of double and triple. At the rate of say 10% per annum, how much time does it take for a sum of money to become double under the concept of compound interest?
7.2 years.
To double, it will be 7.2 years, and to triple,
11.4.
11.4.
11.4 years.
yeah. To convert it into month, what will you do? It will be 11 years, multiply 0.4 by 12 to convert it into months. So 11 years, 4.8 is 5 months. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Example, if at 5%, the difference between CI and SI is 210 for 2 years, what will be the principal? If the difference between CI and SI for 2 years at the rate of 5% per annum is 210, what will be the principal or sum of money?
84,000.
84,000.
D into 100 square by R square. So 210 into 100 square divided by R square. That is 84,000. Any doubt?
No.
No, ma'am.
All of you clear till here?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If the amount is say 1600 in 3 years and 2200 in 5 years, what will be the principal? A1 into T2 minus A2 into T1 by T1 minus T2. Answer 700.
Yes, ma'am.
If the difference between CI and SI for 3 years is rupees 1000 at the rate of 5% per annum for 3 years, what will be the principal? If the difference between CI and SI is rupees 1000 at the rate of 5% for 3 years, what will be the principal? Formula was D into 100 cube by R square into R plus 300, 1000 into 100 cube, 5 into 305. Answer.
26,666.6.
I don't think so.
1,31,000
Yes,
and 140.
1,31,000.
47.54. This should be the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Pooja, did you get this? Check the calculation.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Example. If a sum of money becomes 3 times in 20 years, how much time will in how much time will it take to become 5 times? If a sum of money becomes 3 times in 20 years, how much time will it take to become 5 times?
40.
Whatever I have to
Yes.
find minus 1 by 3 minus 1 into given. So 40 years. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Then we also learn the concept of effective rate. The concept of effective rate is only applicable when you're talking about non-yearly rates, non-annual rates. You're talking about half-yearly, you're talking about quarterly or monthly. Then we convert those half-yearly, quarterly rates into an equivalent annual rate. That is effective rate. The formula was 1 plus I power n minus 1 multiplied by 100. So if I say I'm calculating 8% half yearly, 8% compounded half yearly, then the effective rate 8% becomes 4%, and effective rate is always calculated for 1 year. So in 1 year there will be 2 half yearly installments minus 1, multiply it by 100. How much?
8.16.
81.6.
8.16%. So 8% compounded half yearly is same as 8.16% compounded annual. The interest that you get by 8% half yearly is the same thing that you will be accounted for if you do 8.16% compounded annual. Understood? If I would have been calculating 8% quarterly, compounded quarterly, and I want to find effective rate. So 8% will become In case of quarterly,
2%.
2%.
2%. And in 1 year, there will be how many installments?
4 is
4 installment.
4 installments. Calculate.
8.24%.
8.24, ma'am.
8.24.
Very good. 8% compounded monthly. So this time it will be divided by 12. Answer.
Eight point two nine.
8.299%. 8 divided by 1200 plus 1, multiply it 12 times minus 1 into 100. The answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
We'll
ma'am.
first do the sum still here using the concepts of simple interest, compound interest, and effective rate. Then we'll discuss the annuity concept and do those sums. Yes? The first question. Simple interest on rupees 3,500 for 3 years at 12% per annum. 3,500 into 12 into 3 divided by 100. 1260.
Yes, ma'am.
Answer is 1260.
Yes, ma'am.
Question number 2. The sum required to earn a monthly interest. In case of simple interest, there is no monthly interest. So if for 1 month the interest is 1200, so for the whole year, the interest will be 14,400. In case of simple interest, there is no monthly concept. So if for 1 month the interest is coming out to be 1200, every month it will be the same. So for the entire year, multiplying it by 12, I got 14,400. Principal missing, time 1 year, rate 18 divided by 100. 80,000.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
What principal will amount to rupees 370 in 6 years at 8%? Let's do trial and error. For option A, 210 into 6 into 8 divided by 100 plus 210. It gives me 310.8. That's wrong. Option B, 250 for 6 years at 8%. Interest is 120 plus 250 is 370. So B is the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
I did trial and error. 250 into 6 into 8 by 100 is the interest. Added 250 again. I did get 370, which matches with the amount that is given in the question. So option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Any doubts?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Question number 4. A certain sum of money doubles itself in 10 years. So doubles in 10 years. So 10 years will be equal to 100 by R. So R will be 10%. Triple is 200 by R. It will be 20 years. You could have used common sense rules. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
A sum of money amounts to rupees 6,200 in 2 years and 7,400 in 3 years. It's the same ICAI module question. You must have remembered also. So first using these two, we will find out principal. Principal will be A1 T2 minus A2 T1 by T2 minus T1.
3,800.
8,800.
3,800. To check for rate, at 3,800 for 2 years, if I take the rate to be 3.57%, let's see if I get the amount as 6,200. If yes, then the rate is correct. Otherwise, I have to click none of these, right? 3,800 into 3.57 into 2 divided by 100 plus 3,800. Do you get 6,200 amount?
No, ma'am.
No. So that's wrong. None of these is the answer. None of these is the answer. The rate is not much. Question number 6. A sum of rupees 46,875 was lent out at simple interest, and at the end of 1 year and 8 months, the total amount was itna. Find the rate of percent. 1 year, 8 month is 1 plus 8 by 12, 5 by 3. So if I do trial and error, 46,875 into rate into 5 by 3 into 100 plus 46,875. This should give you 5,000. If it gives us 5,000, then that rate will be the correct answer. Agree? This should give us 50,000. So we can do the subtraction also. This will be 3125. Now send everyone to the other end. We get 4. So the rate is 4%. The rate is 4%. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All of you got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
You could have done trial and error also. How much time a sum of money doubles at simple interest? Double formula was 100 by R. So it will be 100 divided by 12.5. Answer? 8
80.
years.
8 years.
Two equal sums were lent out at 7% and 5% simple interest respectively. The interest earned on the two loans add up to rupees 960 for 4 years. Find the total sum. This is the summation of it. So if I do trial and error, 4,000 is the total. That means I lend 2,000, 2,000. So first 2,000 for 4 years at 7% and 2,000 for 4 years at 5%. The interest when added should give us 960. Agreed? 2,000 into 4% into 7. $400. The first one itself matches, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Answer
ma'am.
is 4,000. 400 and 560. That adds up to 960. Any problem?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. No,
Guys,
ma'am.
are you all able to understand till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Question number 9. A sum of money gets doubled in 5 years at X% simple interest. So doubled answer is 500 by R. So R is 20. So X is 20%. If the interest was Y%, the sum of money would have become tenfold in 30 years. So if it becomes double in 100 by R, triple in 200 by R, it will become 10 times in 900 by R. So 900 by R is 30 years. So R will be 3. Sorry, 30.
Yes, ma'am.
So Y will be 30%. What we want is Y minus X. So Y minus X will be 10%.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is tenfold of 30?
10 times.
Okay.
It becomes 10 times in 30 years.
Okay, ma'am.
In simple interest, if the principal is rupees 2,000 and the rate and time are the roots of an equation, then simple interest is There's something missing here. The equation is x square minus 11x plus 30. This is the equation, it has to be mentioned. The rate and time are the roots of this equation. Now, to find simple interest, we need principal into rate into time divided by 100. If R and T are roots of an equation, we know product of root. What is product of root formula? C by A. So product of root, that will be rate into time. It will be 30 divided by 1. So rate into time is 30. So 2000 R into T is 30 divided by 100. Answer
Option B, ma'am.
600. Did you all understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you understood, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
11. What sum of money will produce for 42,800 as an interest in 3 years and 3 months at 2.5% per annum simple interest? 3 years, 3 months is 3 plus 3 by 12. 13 by 4 years. We can do trial and error. Option A, 3,78,000 into 13 by 4 at 2.5%. No, it gives us 30,712.5 as interest. That is wrong. Option B, 5,26,769 multiplied by 13 by 4 multiplied by 2.5% gives us 42,799.9. Yes, that is almost 800. So option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. 0.9. नहीं इतना तो approximate होगा 12. Rahul invested rupees 70,000 in a bank at the rate of 6.5% per annum simple interest. He received 85,925 after the end of the term. Find out the period for which the sum was invested. So 70,000 investment, rate 6.5, time is missing, divided by 100. This comes out to be 85,925. Answer
C, ma'am. 3.5 years.
3.5 years. Okay, this is amount. That's why it didn't match for me. This was amount. He received this much. That was the amount. So 15,925 into 100 by 6.5 divided by 70. Yes, 3.5. 13. The simple interest of P% for P years on a sum of what? So interest is P, sum of money is missing, rate is P, time is P divided by 100. This gone. So 100 by P will be the sum of money. The principal will be 100 by P. The options in general were P by 100, 100 by P, 100 into P, and none of these. See? It's 100 by P. Clear?
ma'am.
14. How much time would the simple interest on a certain sum be 0.125 times the principal at 10% per annum? The simple interest is 0.125 times the principal. Principal is P, time missing, rate 10%. P gets cancelled. We need to find time.
1.25 years, I have.
Time will be 1.25 years. Options are wrong. Time is 1.25 years. Time is 1.25 years. The options are wrong. Clear?
हाँ जी.
15. An investor is saying to pay off an obligation, that is loan, of rupees 15,250, which will due in 7 years. If the investor is earning 7.5% simple interest rate per annum, he must deposit rupees this much to meet the obligation. That means they're asking us to find out
Principal.
this is amount.
Principal.
This is amount 15,250. He wants us to repay this much, right? So this is amount that is due in 7 years. Time is 7. Principal missing. Rate is 7.5. But this is amount. That means principal is added here. Yes. Time is 7 years. So we can do trial and error. We can do trial and error. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
I got 10,000.
Yes, ma'am. See.
ठीक है? 16. Rupees 80,000 is invested to earn a monthly interest of 1,200 at the rate of that is what we need to find.
18%.
Right. So 1,200 is the monthly interest. So the total interest will be 14,400 whole year. Principal 80,000 time 1 year rate missing. 18%.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Till 16, anyone has any doubt?
No, ma'am.
All of you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
17. 17. Rupees 2,000 is invested at annual rate of interest of 10%. What is the amount after 10 years if compounding is done first annually? So annually it will be 2,000 into 1.1 to the power 2. 2420. So this is wrong. Right? Then if it is half yearly, 10% becomes 5%. 1.05. 2 years, 4 installment. 2431.0. So this is wrong. It's either C or D. So see, this one is also same. Let us find only the monthly part then. So 2,000 monthly. 1 plus 10 by 1,200. 2 years, 24 installments. Two double 440. So option C is the correct answer. This is also wrong. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
A man deposited rupees 8,000 in a bank for 3 years at 5% per annum compound interest. After 3 years, he'll get. That means you need to find out the amount. 8,000, 1.05 to the power 3, 9261. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next. How much will rupees 25,000 amount to in 2 years at compound interest if the rates for the successive years are these? 25,000 for the first year, 4%, then 5%. Option A, 27,300.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
20. If rupees 10,000 is invested at 8% per year, compounded quarterly, then the value of the investment after 2 years, since it's quarterly, 8% will become 2%. 2 years will become how many installments? 8 installments. So 10,000, 1.02 to the power 8. 11,716.59. 11,716.59. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
21. Find the compound interest if an amount of rupees 50,000 is deposited in a bank for 1 year. 1 year means there will be two semi-annually installment. 8% will be 4%. So 50,000 divided by 1.04 thrice. Answer?
Option B, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. B.
Find the compound interest if an amount of rupees 50,000. My sum is wrong. 50,000 is deposited 1.0 semi-annually, so 4. 1 year is 2 installment. I want compound interest. 4080. Here, on what sum will the compound interest at 5% per annum for 2 years compounded annually be itna? So this is compound interest. Formula is principal 1.05 to the power 2 minus 1. 32,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, are you all able to do the sums?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
23. Effective rate. Effective rate is always calculated for 1 year and the principal doesn't matter. 7% compounded quarterly. So 7 divided by 400 plus 1. 1 year, 4 installment minus 1 into 100. Answer
7.18.
7.18. Done? An amount is lent at a nominal rate of 4.5% per annum compounded quarterly. What would be the gain in rupees over when compounded annually? That means we need to first find out the annual rate and then find out the difference. Okay, let's find out the compound first, the effective rate. Effective rate will be 1 plus 4.5 divided by 400. 1 year is 4 installment. This is 4.576%. Earlier it was 4.5%. So it has increased by
Point
0.07.
7%.
0.076. Clear? They wanted the gain in the rupees over when compounded annually. So if you convert this quarterly calculation into annually, how much you will gain on 1 rupee? So earlier you are getting 4.5 rate and now you are getting 4.576. So you got an extra 0.076. Scrap value. Scrap value is when the values rather than increasing is depreciating. So the same formula of compound interest is applicable. Instead of adding 1 plus I, we are going to subtract. So formula, the scrap value, the depreciated value, the decreased value is the initial value into 1 minus rate to the power n. So here, this 10 lakh machine depreciated at the rate of 10% for 10 years.
A, ma'am.
3, 4, 8, 6, 7, 8.44. Yes. Option A. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No.
26. The population of a town increases by 2% of the population at the beginning of the year. The number of year by which the total increase in population would be 40%. So if I assume that the initial population is 100, now what I want is the population to become increase by 40%. So if you increase 100 plus 40%, if you do in the calculator, you get 140. You can take the population to be anything. I've taken 100, you may take 1, you may take 1,000, 1 lakh, anything. So I took the initial population to be 100. I gradually, finally want that it should increase by 40%. That means I want my population from 100 to go to 140. In how much time? That is what we need to find. Initially 100, 1.02 to the power n. So this is 1.4. So you keep on multiplying 1.02. You'll find out near which number.
Seventeen.
10 years.
13 is 1.29. 14 is 1.31. 17 years. Is it 17 years? We get 1.40024.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next.
Ma'am, in the previous question, we can take log also.
Yeah. How will you get the values of log?
Calculator.
How does your calculator have log value?
मैम वो ट्रिक के साथ
अच्छा, ठीक है. Next, a sum of money invested of compound interest doubles itself in 4 years. Double formula was 72 by R, and this answer we got as 4 years. So R is 18%, right? Okay, 32 times. We don't have 32 times formula. So we know that if the initial population is P, it has become double. Double is 2P. In how many years? In 4 years. So 1 plus I to the power 4. Now what I want is it to become 32 times. P gets cancelled. Now we need to use this to find this. So if I raise this to the power 5 on both sides, 32, 5 4s are 20. If you compare these two, how many years?
20 years.
20 years. Whatever they've given you, the final answer will be definitely a power of the previous one. So we got 32 or 64 or 16 or 8, something. We had the relation this 2 equal to 1 plus I power 4. Now I want 32. So I raised 2 to the power 5 because 2 power 5 is 32. But I can't do it on one side. I did it both the sides. So 2 power 5 gives us this 1 plus I power 20. So how many years did it take? 20 years. Next. The difference between compound interest and simple interest on a certain sum of money invested for 3 years at 6% is this much. So you use the formula for the 3-year difference. So principal D into 100 cube by R square into R plus 300. Calculate this. 10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubt? If an amount is kept at simple interest, it earns an interest of rupees 600 in first 2 years. But when kept at compound interest, it earns an interest of 660. That means there's a difference of 60 rupees. In simple interest, we earned an interest of 600. In compound interest, we are earning it at 600. So there's a difference of 60 rupees. In how many years? 2 years. So we'll use the difference formula for 2 years. Difference 60. Principal. How formula was?
60 into 100 square divided by rate
R
square.
square. Agree? So trial and error. Trial and error. 60 into 100 square divided by 22 times. It gives us 1500. So no. Option B is correct. Option B satisfies our equation. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
30. If the compound interest on a sum for 2 years at 4% per annum is 102, then the simple interest on the same sum for the same period at the same rate will be. How are we supposed to do this? If the compound interest is 102, principal 1.04 to the power 2 minus 1. First, find out the principal. Once you get the principal, use 2 years and 4% to calculate the simple interest. How much is principal?
1250.
Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And now for this 1250, find out simple interest.
100.
1250 for 2 years at 4%.
100.
100. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Done? 31. A sum was invested for 3 years as per compound interest, and the rate of interest for the first year is 9, second 6, and the third is 3%. Find the sum if the amount in 3 years is 550. So 550 principal, 9% is 1.09, 6% 1.06, 3% 1.03. So calculate. Answer.
Option C, ma'am.
Option C,
Option C, ma'am.
462.16. All of you got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
32. The difference between CI and SI for 2 years is 21. into 100 square by R square. We'll get the principal. Answer
8,000.
Option A, ma'am.
8,400.
8,400.
Yes, ma'am.
33. Which is a better investment? To find out better investment, it's an investment, I want more interest. So find out effective rate in both the cases. Whichever gives you a higher effective rate, that is better. Right? So for 9% per annum compounded quarterly, find out effective rate. Effective rate is calculated for 1 year. It is
9.38.
9.3% compounded annually, and another is 9.1% simple interest, which is better.
9%
Compound
compound.
interest.
This one is better, which is 9% per annum compounded quarterly. Because I'm making an investment. If I would have been taking a loan, then simple interest would have been better. Is it understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you? 34. This was the learn sum. We have done in the module also, and I told you it's a very common sum. For 1,000, the rates are these, but the rate is always calculated for 100. So for 100, the rates will be 3.94 and 1.94. So birth rate is 3.94, death rate 1.94. So the actual rate of increase will be 2%. 3.94 is the rate of increase, then it again decreases by 1.94. That means the net increase rate will be 2%.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Number of years in which it will double. Double is 72 by R, so 36 years. But if you remember, I told you this is approximate value. So we unclick, we take 35 years. It was a learn sum, it's there in the module also. It's a very common. Exact. Next, 35. The compound interest on half yearly rests on rupees 10,000. The rate for the first and second year being 6%. For the third year, it is 9%. Remember that the things are calculated in half yearly point of view. Agree? So rupees 10,000. This 6% will become 3%. For the first 2 years, it will be the same. And we are calculating it half yearly. So 2 years will become
4.
4
4
installments.
installments.
9% is 4.5. 9% will be 4.5, so 1.045 to the power 2. Third year, 2 installment, multiply.
Option
Answer.
D, ma'am.
The amount is 12290.83, but they want compound interest. Minus 10,000, so 2290.8. 2290.8. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
36. It's a repeat sum. We just did that. Answer was 10%. Effective rate of interest does not depend upon principal. We never consider the principal. We calculate it on our own. So effective rate does not depend upon the principal. Calculate. The difference in simple interest of a sum invested for 15 year 100 for 3 years is rupees 18. The difference in their rate is there were two different rates at which it was invested, right? And the difference in their interest rate is this. So suppose the first rate is X% and the second rate is Y%. So interest for the first will be calculated in this way minus the interest for the second one will be calculated in this way, and the answer is given to be 80. We calculated simple interest in two different scenarios where the principal and time are same, only the rates change. So let's take common, 45 common. X minus y will be 18 divided by 45. Answer
0.4.
0.4. Any doubts? Any doubts?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
All of you clear? So the sums that we did till now was concepts of basic, simple interest, compound interest, and effective rate. Now to move on to the concepts of annuity, future value, present value, let's first discuss the theory and then we'll do the sums. So in the same formula, the formula that we use for compound interest, amount is principal 1 plus I power n. Principal is something that you have in your hand today. So this is known as present value. Amount is something that will get in your hand later on. So amount is known as future value. So amount and principal can also be termed as future value and present value. So we have the formula future value equal present value multiplied by 1 plus I power n. How will we know the calculation? How will we know the sum? See, annuity means when a payment is made again and again. So if nothing of that sort is mentioned and it only says that 1200 is invested now at the rate of 2% for a period of 5 years, how much will you get after the end of 5 years? It's a normal compound interest sum. Whether you consider amount principal or you consider present value future value, doesn't matter. In both the cases, formula is the same. You are given the present value or the principal 1200. The rate is 2%. The time is 5 years. We need to find out either the amount or the future value. It doesn't matter what you got. So in case of normal present value, future value question, there is no repeated payment. There is one time payment. Either you make a payment once or you withdraw the payment once. That's it. So that's a normal case of amount principal or future value, present value. But when the question says that a payment is done again and again, suppose rent will be paid every month again and again, right? Rent will be done every month again and again. Or you say, for example, your LIC premium or your loan installment or something of that sort, something that is done again and again. In that case, the question of annuity type, sinking fund, perpetuity, all those things. In that case, we use the concept and the formulas of annuity. So your question has to tell you that one of the payment is either received or is paid again and again or multiple times again. Now, annuity, that was annuity for us. Annuity. Of equal installment in equal interval of time. When a payment is done again and again, they were divided into two categories, ordinary or regular annuity. If the payment is made at the end of term, at the end of year, at the end of half yearly, anything, or nothing is mentioned, then also we use ordinary annuity. And another was annuity due or immediate annuity. This will be mentioned that the payment is made now, from today, from the beginning. Then we use the word annuity from the beginning. So we talk about, so suppose I've taken a loan of 1 lakh. So loan is always present value. To clear this loan, I need to make an installment every month. So every month, that means a payment will be made again and again. So it's a question of present value and annuity. In order to get a huge sum of rupees 2 crore at the end of 20 years, I have to deposit something at the end of each 6 months. End of each 6 months ordinary annuity. Some will be received after 20 years. So it's a question of future value and annuity. So question will be either present value plus annuity or it will be future value plus annuity. Loan is always present value. Sinking fund is always future value. Loan is always present value. Sinking fund. Sinking fund means what? setting aside a fund from our profits to either buy a machinery or to repay a loan. This is always future value. Always. Otherwise, read the question and determine whether the question talks about today's price or it talks about a price that is later. So if it is today's price and the payment is made again and again, it is present value and annuity question. If a sum will be received later on, that is future value, and you are making a payment or receiving a payment again and again, that is annuity. So it will be future value and annuity. So we have 4 formulas. For ordinary, future value is R, 1 plus I power n minus 1 by I, where R is the annuity. And for due, same formula, one installment gets only multiplied into 1 plus. For present value, 1 minus 1 plus I power minus n divided by I. And this is R, 1 minus 1 plus I power minus n minus 1 divided by I plus. In case of sinking fund, you will only use the future value depending upon whether it is ordinary or due. And in case of in normal case, in our case, it's always going to be sinking fund is always going to be future value and ordinary. It is always going to be future value and ordinary entity. So what is sinking fund? Sinking fund means something when a payment, when we are setting aside a certain sum every month, every half yearly or every year from our profit to have a huge amount of sum at the end of a certain term. In that case, we say that it is going a sinking fund situation. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's do the sums. Let's start the sums. 39. You invest rupees 3,000 in a 2-year investment that pays you 12% per annum. Calculate the future value. Is it a sum of annuity? No. Because a payment is made only once. We only need to find out the future value. That means we need to find out the amount basically. So principal into 1.12 to the power n. $3,763.2. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
40. Find the future value of annuity of rupees 1,000. So this is annuity made for 7 years at interest rate of this. So future value are 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 divided by I. Answer? Option A. Raju invests rupees 20,000 every year. Every year. That means this payment is done again and again. So this is annuity. In a deposit scheme starting from today. So this is annuity due. Next 12 years, time is 12 years. Assuming that the interest rate on this deposit is 7% per annum compounded annually, what will be the future value? So future value will be 20,000, 1.07 to the power 12 minus 1 by 0.07. Since it is due, one more 1.07 will get multiplied. Answer?
Option B.
Option B. Any doubts? 42. A company wants to replace its existing tool room machine at the end of 10 years. The expected cost would be 10 lakh. If the management of the company creates a sinking fund is always future value, ordinary annuity. Sinking fund is always future value, ordinary annuity, and we want a sum of 10 lakh at the end. So this is the future value that I want. For this, what should I save every year? That is what they are asking us. So I want 10,000 and 10 lakh. Annuity is what I need to find. 1.1 power 10 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Answer.
C.
Option C, ma'am.
C, ma'am.
C.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
43. Find the present value of rupees 1 lakh to be required after 5 years if the interest rate be 9%. Is this an annuity question? Definitely no, right? Because there's a one single payment. I want to find out present value, and this is what I'll be receiving after 5 years. So this is future value. So 1 lakh present value 1.09 to the power 5. Answer.
B, ma'am.
Option B. Clear? Forty-four. Rupees 2,500 is paid every year. Every year. So this is annuity for 10 years to pay off a loan. Loan is always present value. So present value ordinary annuity are 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n. Calculate. Option.
B.
B, ma'am.
All of you are able to do the sums?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
45. Anshika took a loan of rupees 1 lakh at 8% for 5 years. Loan of 1 lakh. So this is present value. Installments 1 minus 1.08 in 5 years. 0.08. Answer.
Option A, ma'am.
A.
Option. Pure.
A, ma'am.
Option A. All of you got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Govinda's mother decides to gift him rupees 50,000 every year starting from today. Every year, so it's annuity. Starting from today, so it is due. For the next 5 years, so N will be 5. Ordinary annuity, this is annuity. Govinda deposits the amount in a bank as and when he receives and gets 10% per annum interest rate. Rate is 10%. Compounded annually, what is the present value of this annuity? We want to find out present value under ODR, under annuity due. So present value are 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n minus 1. So it will be 4 divided by I plus R again. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's B. 2,08,493.5.
Yes. Option B. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Are you all able to do the sum still here? Next.
Yes, ma'am.
47. Why bought motorbike costing 80,000 by making down payment of 30,000? So from 80,000, down payment of 30,000 is already made. So loan will be 50,000. Loan is present value 50,000. To clear this, agreeing to make annual payment for 4 years. How much would be each payment? So we need to find out the each yearly payment, that is annuity. 1 minus 1.14 in 4 years.
Revision children.
Sorry.
Option A.
Option A.
Option A. Thank you, clear? Yeah. 48. The amount of an annuity. Amount of an annuity means future value. The amount of an annuity due. So future value under annuity due. consisting of 15 annual payment N, invested at 8%, effective is 10,000. So this is future value. And the size of each payment, that means we need to find out R. Future value is 10,000. R 1.08 to the power 5, 15 minus 1, 5.08 into 1.08 because it is due. What's the answer?
C.
Rest of you.
C, ma'am.
All of you got the
Yes,
answer
ma'am.
C.
Yes, ma'am.
49. Paul borrows rupees 20,000. So this is loan. Present value. On the condition to repay it with compound interest at 5% per annum in annual installment of 2,000 each. So this is every year making a payment of 2,000 rupees. So this is annuity. 5%, 1 minus 1.05. Time is missing. You can do trial and error. Trial and error. Answer. This is 10. Answer.
Option C.
No.
Option D.
Yeah. If you calculate this, I get 9.89. If you use 15 years, you get 10.37. Option C is the answer. 14 years. That is closer. Sorry, whoever said 49 by mistake. Option C is the answer. Fifty. A person invests rupees 500 at the end of each year. So this is annuity. With a bank which pays interest at 10% per annum compounded annually. The amount standing to his credit 1 year after he has made his yearly investment. We have done this question in the module. I think you all must remember the answer also. First, we find out the future value for the 12th time, and then we add the interest for 1 more year. That is what they've asked us to find. 1 year after he has made the yearly investment for the 12th time. So for the 12th time, we'll first find out the future value. And after that, 1 more year, we have kept it in the bank. So 1 more year, the interest will be calculated. So first future value, 500, 1.1 power 12 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Answer, 10692.14. And then to this, add in years interest. So to this, add 10%. To
11.
this, add 10%.
A and A.
11761.354.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubts?
Oh, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh. Let's continue. Now we'll do the applications of the annuity portion. Now, the first and foremost application is the rental. Whether we should give a space on rent or not, right? Whether we should take it on lease or not. So before moving on to those questions, let us understand the meaning of two terms because those terms are written in our option. First, lesser. First term is lesser. Lesser is the owner of asset. Who gives the space on rent? Who gives the space on rent? So if I talk about his point of view, he will automatically want what? More money. Whatever will give him more money. If renting the asset gives him more money, he'll rent it. If selling the property gives him more money, he'll sell it, right? Whereas the word lessee, this is user of asset. User of asset. Who takes the asset, who takes the space on rent. Who takes the space on rent. So if you're talking about this person's point of view, we will want to have lesser cost. So if renting costs you less, then it is in favor of lessee. If selling costs less and buying costs less, then we'll buy the property. So lesser wants more money. Lessee wants less money, right? So lesser is the owner of the asset who is giving it on rent. So if you're talking about his point of view, we would want to have the option which is costing more. Lessee is the one who is going to pay, who is going to use it. So he will definitely want to have something that costs him less, right? So in the rental agreement, what we need to decide is whether to sell a property or not. So what we do is, if the question is whether to rent it or buy it, then the cost of the asset will be provided. The cost is always the worth of the asset in today's time. That is present value of the asset. So what we do is the situation, the other situation, that will be rental situation. So they'll tell us that the yearly rent is this much, the monthly rent is this much, and that goes on for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever is the time period given. What we do is cost is one time, that is present value. What we do is for those annuity duration, for those rental payment, we find out the present value. Why? Because we can't find the future value. We can't compare two prices on two different time zones. Cost of the asset is in today's time. And rental, if you find out future value, that will be after 5 or 10 or 20 years. How can I compare a price of today and after 20 years? That's impossible to do. So in case of such situation, wherever comparison is drawn, we always find present value. So cost of the asset will already be provided. What we will do is we'll find out the present value of the rent or whatever annuity they have written. If the rent is costing you more, okay, then lessee will tell that don't take on rent, because rental is making it more expensive, buy it. And if it is less, suppose rent costs are less, so lessee will favor in the taking it on rent rather than purchasing. So the story will tell us what we need to do, but we always find present value. That's for sure. Clear? In case of such situation, we are always going to find present value. Question. A company is considering proposal of purchasing a machine either by making full payment of rupees 4,000. So this is the cost in today's time. The cost in today's time is 4,000. Okay. This is one-time payment. That means if I buy it now, then I need to pay a cost of rupees 4,000. Or by leasing it for 4 years at an annual rate of 1250. Which course of action is preferable if the company can borrow money at 14% compounded annually? So whether we should take it on lease or we should not take it on lease is the question here. Either I should buy the machine at 4,000 or I should rent it out for 4 years at a rate of 1250 per year, right? So for 1250 annuity, we will find out the present value. If that present value comes out to be more than 4,000, then we will buy it. Leasing is not preferable. Don't take it on lease. And if the present value of 1250 comes out to be less than 4,000, that means if I buy, I have to pay 4,000. If I rent it out, I need to pay less than 4,000. Then automatically leasing will be preferable. Clear? So cost of the asset is already written. Cost of asset 4,000. We find out present value of rent. Present value of 1250. 1 minus 1.14 to the power minus 2 divided by 0.14. That is How much? This is 3,642.14.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I take it on rent, I need to pay a total sum of this much. Whereas if I buy it, I need to pay 4,000. So renting costs us less. So company is trying to make a decision whether to buy or rent it out. So what will the company do?
Option B, ma'am.
Rent. So leasing is preferable. In this situation, leasing is preferable. Am I clear? Am I clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next. A person wants to lease out a machine costing 5 lakh for a 10-year period. It is fixed a rental. So right now, if you buy the machine, it costs us 5 lakh, right? So whatever is the rent or the payment or the annuity they are telling us, we'll find out the present value, right? So person wants to lease out a machine costing rupees 5 lakh. Okay. Person wants to lease out a machine costing 5 lakh. So the machine costs already, if the person wants to buy it, it costs 5 lakh. Agreed? So rather than that, he is thinking of buying, having it on a rental basis. So it has fixed a rental of 51,272 per annum payable annually starting from the end. So ordinary annuity. Suppose rate of interest is 10% per annum compounded annually on which money can be invested. To whom this agreement is favorable. So rather than buying the machine at 5 lakh, the person is renting it out. Okay. Rather than buying the machine which costs 5 lakh, the person is renting it out at 51,272. So we will find out the present value of 51,272. If it comes out to be more than 5 lakh, then it is in favor of lesser. The person is getting more money. And if it comes out to be less than 5 lakh, then it is in the favor of lessee because it is costing him less. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So we find out present value 51,272. 1 minus 1.1 to the power minus 10 divided by 0.1. This is 3,15,044.2, which is less than 5 lakh. So that means the decision to take it on rent is good because the person is costing, it costs the person less amount of money. That means it is in favor of lesser or lessee.
Lessee, ma'am.
Lessee. It is in favor of lessee. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. ABC Limited Company wants to lease out an asset costing 3,60,000 for a 5-year period. So if the company buys the asset, it costs 3,60,000. Rather than that, it has a fixed rental of 1,05,000 per month for a period of 5 years. So we'll find out the present value. We will find out the present value of the rental basis. If the present value comes out to be more than 3,60,000, then it is not favorable to rent out. If it comes out to be less than 3,60,000, then it is favorable. Yes or no? This is what the question is. Is it favorable or no? So if the present value comes out to be more than 3,60,000, no, it is not favorable. We should not rent it. If it comes out to be less than 3,60,000, then yes, we should rent. Agree? So we find out the present value 1,05,000. 1 minus 1.14 power minus 5 divided by 0.14. Calculate.
Ma'am, 3,60,473.5.
Once. Yes. 3,60,473.5, which is more than 3,60,000. Let's read the question. ABC Limited wants to lease out an asset costing rupees 3 lakh. It has a fixed rental of this starting from there. Suppose rate of interest is this. Oh, the company is giving out on lease. My fault. I read the company is not taking it on lease. The company is putting the asset on lease. They already bought the company wants to lease out an asset. The company wants to lease out an asset costing rupees 3,60,000. The cost is already 3,60,000 and they are putting it on rent. So they're asking whether it is a profitable situation or not. So when they bought it, it costed them 3,60,000. Now the rental agreement is giving them more money. So is it favorable or is it not favorable?
Favorable, ma'am.
Favorable. It is favorable. Yes. A machine can be purchased for 50,000. In this question, we need to decide whether to buy the machine or not. When do we buy the machine? If the collective benefit increases the cost of the machinery. So we find out the benefit, again we find out the present value of the benefit. If the present value of the benefit is either equal to 50,000 or more than 50,000, then yes, you should buy the machinery. But if the benefits come out to be less than 50,000, we should not buy the machinery. If the machine costs us 50,000, it should give us a return of at least that much. So if the benefit from the machine is not more than 50,000 or even equal 50,000, then we should not buy such a thing. We should not make such an investment. So the machine is costing us 50,000. Machine will be contributing 12,000 per year for the next 5 years. Assuming the borrowing cost is 10%, determine whether the machine should be purchased or not. So 12,000 1 minus 1.10 power minus 5, 5.1. Answer?
45,489.44.
All of you got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
So what should be the conclusion?
Should not be purchased.
It should not be purchased because the benefit is lesser than the cost it incurs. Then also you can buy any which way. If it comes out to be equal, then it is neutral. Whether you want to buy it or not, that's your. Clear? Now, here we are going to talk about two machines. One of the machine cost and the benefit will find out. The second machine's cost and benefit will find out. We need to make a call about which machine to buy. Whether to buy the first machine or the second machine. How we decide? Cost is different, the benefits will be different. We find out the net benefit. Suppose the first machine cost 10,000 and the benefit is 12,000. So it has a net benefit of 2,000 extra. The second machine costs 15,000, gives us a benefit of 20,000. So the net benefit is 5,000. It is more. So in that case, I'll buy the second machine. So we find out the difference between the return and the costing. Whichever has a better return, higher value, that machine we will buy. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the first machine, a machine with useful life of 7 years cost 10,000. Another 5 years cost 8,000. The first machine saves labor expense of 1,900 annually. So 1,900 for a period of 7 years when the rate is 10%. For the first machine, cost is 10,000 and benefit 1,900. 1 minus 1.1 minus 7 by 0.1. How much is this?
9249.
9249.99. So if this machine would have been alone also, should I buy this machine? Should I even consider buying the first machine? No, because the cost of the machine is 10,000 and it is only giving me a return of 9,249. So that means it is not even meeting its cost. So it's not giving me a benefit, right? Whereas the second machine, the cost of the second machine is 8,000, gives us a return of 2,200 Again, for a period of 5 years, calculate
8,339.
8339.73, which is more than 8,000. So it is advisable to buy which machine?
Second machine.
Obviously, the first machine is a loss-making venture. It won't even meet the cost. But the second is meeting the cost and it is giving you 339 rupees more. Right? So the second machine should be purchased. The second machine should be purchased. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt?
Ma'am. No, ma'am.
Next, 56. An investor intends purchasing a 3-year rupees 1,000 par value bond having nominal interest rate of 10%. At what price the bond may be purchased now if it matures at par and the investor requires a rate of return of 14%. So, bond benefits. One is getting an interest, and the second is maturity. Upon maturity, it also gives us an additional amount. One is helps with the interest, and it also gives us money on maturity. So, interest first year, if it is rupees 100, it will be 10% of, it was 10%, right? The interest rate is 10% will be calculated on the bond value, that is 1,000. So 10% of 1,000 is 100 rupees. And for how many years we are talking about? For a 3 year? 3 year. So every year the bond will give you a return of 100 rupees, right? Year 100, year 200, year 300. Till here, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. And then the maturity. Upon maturity, this 1,000 rupees bond will give you 14% maturity after 3 years. So we find the present value because we need to compare with today's value, right? So 1,000 normal, it's not annuity. Maturity is not annuity. You are getting it only once after the end of the term. The maturity amount you get after the end of the term, only once. So it is not an annuity situation, it is a one-time situation. So when the bond matures after 3 years, then this 14% will be given to you in one go, which will be calculated on what? On your bond value, which is 1,400, which is your 1,000. So one present value, so 1,000, I want present value. So present value will be 1,000 divided by 1.14 cube, which is 674.97. 674.97. And for this also, 3 years, every year you are getting 100, 100, 100. On that also we apply this 14% and we calculate the present value. 100. This is every year. So this comes under annuity. 1 minus 1.14 power minus 3 by 0.14. This is 232.16. Interest rate is only used to calculate how much amount we receive each year. Once you've calculated that, on that also you take the rate of the maturity, and on normal maturity also you take the year rate of maturity. The interest is only used to obtain how much we get each year. That's it. So upon maturity, we will receive this much. And because of the yearly interest, we receive a total sum of this much. So what is the total bond benefit? 232.16 plus 674.97. That is
907.13.
907.13. So option A. Option A.
Yes, ma'am.
Same sum. A rupees 1,000 bond paying annual dividend at 8.5%. This is the interest rate. Will be redeemed at par at the end of 10 years. Find the purchase price of the bond if the investor wishes a yield rate, that is the maturity rate of 8%. First, we find out every year, each year, how much we will get. 8.5% of 1,000, that is 85 rupees. And this we will receive for how much time? We will receive for 10 years. So for this, we calculate the present value. 85 we will receive every year for a period of 10 years. And we will also calculate at the time of maturity, present value for 1,000 at the rate of 8%. You calculate both of them and you add them. First one gives us 570.3569. Second one,
463.19.
463.9. And if we add them, we get 1033.5. Add both of them, we get 103. This was 570.3569. This is 463.19. Add both of them, we get 1033.5. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The next concept is perpetuity. Perpetuity is annuity that goes on forever, that goes on till infinity. So if something is going till infinity, we can't talk about the concept of future value. Future value is what? After 5 years, after 6 years, after 10 years, there's an end duration. Perpetuity goes till infinity as long as a person lives, as long as you have the property, as long as there is the situation. So that goes till infinity. So there is no end duration, there is no end, there is no year. So in perpetuity, we only have concept of present value. We only have concept of present value. So perpetuity, annuity that goes on forever. If it is ordinary, then present value is equal to R by I. R is annuity, I is the interest. And if it is due, present value is R plus R by I. If it is growing perpetuity, whenever in the question two rates are given, you subtract them and use the net rate always. Growing perpetuity. The interest rate I, growth rate is G. So when you are finding out the present value, you use the difference of the rate. If in the perpetuity question, two rates are given, you always use the difference of the rate. If it is ordinary, this formula. If it is due, use other formula. But the rate will be the difference of the two rates. In perpetuity, there is no concept of future value. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
Question. नहीं लिखा था. First question. Determine the present value of perpetuity of rupees 50,000 per month. This is annuity. Rate is 12% per annum. Nothing is mentioned. So ordinary annuity, R divided by I, 0.12.
Per month.
Per month. It is per month. So rate is 12% for the whole year. Per month will be 1%. So 0.01. Answer
50 lakh.
50 lakh. A stock pays annually an amount of rupees 10 from 6th year onwards. What is the present value of the perpetuity if the rate of return is 20%? Perpetuity is applicable from the 6th year onwards. From the 6th year onwards. So from the 6th year, you are getting 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 rupees till infinity. From the 6th year, a stock pays annually an amount of rupees 10 from 6th year onwards, present value of the perpetuity. So perpetuity starts from the 6th year and goes till infinity. So for this 10 rupees, we need to find out first the present value. So for the 6th year, present value will be R divided by I. 0.2, that is 50 rupees. That is 50 rupees. So this you have got in the beginning of the 6th year. That is end of 5th year. In the present value for the 6th year is 50. So that is the future value for the 5th year. So from 1st till 5th year, the future value is 50. Rate is 20%. Time is 5 years. We want to know the present value. We want to know the present value in this scenario. Am I clear? The perpetuity started from the 6th year. So for the 6th year and for till infinity, we found out present value of the perpetuity, which came out to be 50. So that means 6th year starting, we had 50 rupees. That means 5th year ended with rupees 50. So if the 5th year ended with rupees 50, what was the initial amount? That is what we need to find under the concept of, is it annuity now? No, it is not annuity anymore. So normal present value, future value concept. Present value into 1.2 to the power 5 gives you 50. So present value will be 50 by 1.2 to the power 5. Calculate.
3.09.
20.09. That is 20.1. 20.1. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
Ma'am.
No, ma'am.
60. Read the question. Read the question. Very normal question. Mr. Sharad got his retirement benefit amounting to rupees 50 lakh. He wants to receive a fixed monthly sum of amount for his rest of life, starting after 1 month, and thereafter he wants to pass on the same to future generation. So he wants it for the rest of his life. Rest of his life means forever. This is perpetuity. And he wants to receive rupees 50 lakh. So this is the present value of the perpetuity. And this he wants to receive monthly. So what will be the monthly amount? That means what will be annuity? That is what we want to find out. So we are going to receive 50 lakh. R is missing. I, 9%. 9% will be 9 by 1200. So 50 lakh into 9 divided by 1200. That is 37,500. 37,500.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you clear? All of you
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
61. Assuming that the discount rate is 7% per annum, how much would you pay to receive rupees 500 growing at 5% annually forever? Whenever, as I said, the two rates are given, what do? We take the difference of the rate. So one of the rate is 7%, another growing at 5%. So the net rate will be
2%.
2%. We want to receive rupees 500. We want to receive rupees 500. We want to receive rupees 500. So what we want to find out is, if we
Present
want to
value.
receive rupees 500, what do we want to find out?
R.
500 divided by 2%, 0.02. That will be
25,000, ma'am.
25,000. Any doubts?
Ma'am.
7% था और 5% से ग्रो हो रहा था, तो फाइनली तो 2% का ही डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है आपको. 5% इन्फ्लेशन उसकी वजह से 62. If the cost of capital be 12% per annum, then the net present value from the given cash flow given as in rupees 1,000 is. So, what should we do? What should we do? We have invested how much? 100 rupees in 0. Times 0 is what? Your investment. So, we've invested how much? Rupees 100. And in the first year, we got a return of 60. Second year, we got a return of 40. Third year, we got a return of 50. Let us find out for all this return our present value. So, what will be the present value? 60 for 1 year. We divide it by the interest. 1 plus I. Then 40, 2 years. 50, 3 years. Did you understand what I'm doing? In the first year, I want a return of 60 rupees. So what should be the present value? That is what I'm calculating. Then in the second, after 2 years, if you want a return of 40, how much I should have invested? That is what I'm finding. Calculate this. How much is this? This is 121.048.
Ma'am.
And we invested outflow is 100. This is present value. This is inflow. This is how much we are getting. And outflow was 100. So what is the net present value? Net inflow. Net present value is 21.048. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
But this was written in thousand. This was in thousands. So we multiply this by 1,000. That is 21,048 rupees. 21,048 rupees. Clear?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Next. The nominal rate of growth is 17%. Inflation is 9%. Inflation is 9%. For 5 years, let P be the gross domestic product amount at the present year, present value basically. Then what is the projected real life GDP after 6 years? So we want to find out the future value of P after 6 years. What will be the rate? Two rates are given. Growth rate 17%, but out of that inflation was 9%. So the actual growth rate is 8%, 17 minus 9. The actual growth rate is only 8%. So at 8%, how much will P become after 6 years? That is the question. Is it understood? Only the story build-up is changed. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
P when invested at 8% after 6 years, how much will it give us?
Option A, ma'am.
1.5868, so 1.5870. Tell here, any doubt?
Ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now we move on to the concept of CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. It is nothing but in normal future value, present value scenario, the rate R is known as CAGR. That's it. The rate R in a normal present value, future value scenario is known as CAGR. In this case, I'm not bothered with the in-between payment. Suppose I took a share, I bought a share for 100. First year, it is giving me this much return. Second year, the price becomes this much. Third year, it becomes this much. It doesn't matter to me. It matters to me when I'm selling it. That is how I calculate my rate, right? So in between prices, we are not bothered. We are only bothered with the initial price and the final price in a CAGR question. Present value, the first value, and the final value. That's it. In between, whatever they tell us, it's irrelevant for us. So in this question, Mr. Paul invested rupees 1 lakh in a mutual fund scheme. So 1 lakh is the initial payment, which is present value. In January 2018, in January 2019, it became this much. I don't care. 1 year, right? 12,000 in second year, 16,000 in third year, 18,000 in the fourth, 21,000 in the fifth year in January 2023. So we started from Jan 2018. We are standing at Jan 2023. How many years have passed? Count. 18 to 19, 1 year. 19 to
5
20.
years.
22 to 21, 21 to 22, 22 to 23. How many years?
Yes,
5
ma'am. Yes.
5 years.
19, 20, 21, 22, 20. So N is 5 and future value is how much? 21,000. One second. No, this is wrong. No? Wrong. My fault. My fault. He invested rupees 1 lakh in the scheme. The return in the first year, we need to find out the CAGR, the growth rate of the share price. So first year, it was 10,000 rupees. I invested 1 lakh, that is not relevant. First year, I got 10,000 rupees. Then it increased to 12,000. Then it increased to 16,000. Then it increased to 18,000. Then it increased to 21,000. We want to find out the rate of that. We don't want to compare it with our investment. So first year, initially, we had got 10,000. And the last value that I got 21,000. So at what rate is this interest dividend increasing is what we want to find. So here only 4 years have passed. So 21,000, 10,000, 1 plus I to the power 4. Do trial and error and tell me which one is the answer. Do trial and error and tell me which one is the answer.
Ma'am, option A.
Yes. Hmm. Option A is our answer. All of you got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Next. Great. Arun purchased a vacuum cleaner by giving 1700 as a down payment. So already a payment of 1700 is made. The remaining will be followed by 5 EMIs of 480. So why am I paying EMIs? To balance out the loan amount. So to clear out the loan, we are paying a 5 EMIs of rupees 480 each. The vacuum cleaner can also be bought by paying rupees 3900 cash. Can also be paid by rupees 3900 cash. What is the approx rate of interest per annum at simple interest under this? What is the loan amount? Can you tell me? If the machine costs 3900 and we have already paid 1700, so loan amount is
2200.
2200. Loan amount is 2200, and we are paying this 2200 in how much time? In 5 EMIs of rupees 480 each. So if I'm paying 480, 485 times, that means how much have I paid total interest? 2400. I have paid a total amount of 2400 amount, sorry. I have paid 5 EMIs, 480, 480, 480. That means I made a total payment of 2400 to clear a loan of 2200. That means how much did I pay as an interest? 200. In order to clear a loan of 2200, I have made 5 EMIs. EMI contains what? Loan as well as interest. So I made a payment of 485 times. That means I made a payment of 2400. Out of that 2400, 2200 was the loan amount. So how much is the interest amount? How much is the interest amount? Interest amount will only be 200 rupees. Am I clear? The cost of the machine was 3900 and we have made a down payment of already rupees 1700. So the remaining 2200 becomes our loan. In order to clear that loan, we have made 5 payments of 480 each. That means to clear a loan of 2200, we have paid a total amount of 2400. Out of that 2400, 2200 is the loan amount. The extra 200 is what? Interest. So the interest amount is 200. The interest amount is 200 on a loan of 2200. 5 years rate is missing. We need to find out this rate. This is 5 months. So 5 by 12 years. What will be the rate here?
21.8%.
21.8, that is 22% only.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, clear? The questions are simple, but the story is a little twist. So it's important to understand the story. Read. A person bought a house paying rupees 20,000 cash down. So we have already made a payment of 20,000, and then whatever is the amount left, that will be cleared by the EMIs. That is 4,000 at the end of each year for 25 years at 5% per annum compound interest. So using this, we'll be able to find out the loan amount first. So loan amount is always present value. 4,000, 1 minus 5%, 25 years. Calculate.
Six 6,000 also.
56,375.80. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And in addition to this, we also made a down payment of 20,000, right? So the house costed me in total how much?
700,000 plus 7.
Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The next question is one of the most trickiest one, also the easiest one also. But it's difficult to read out. Try, read. Johnson left rupees 1 lakh with the direction that it should be divided in such a way that his sons Tom, Dick, and Harry, who are aged 9, 12, and 15 years, when they reach 25 years, they should get the same amount, all three of them. All three of them should get the same amount. The interest is 3.5%. How much each son receives after getting 25 years old is what we want to find. This is the question. So right now, see, Tom, right now he is 9 years, right? To reach 25 years, he need to cross how many years? After 16 years, he will receive a payment. Let us assume that he receives rupees X. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the second son, he is right now 12 years. How many years it will take for him to reach 25 age?
13.
So after 13 years, he will get the same amount, X rupees. And Harry, the third son, is right now 15 years. So he will take another 10 years. He will get the same amount, X rupees. Yes? The
Yes,
person
ma'am.
said that right now he has 1 lakh rupees. That means the present value of each one of these scenarios will add up to give us 1 lakh. Right? The person is asking us that if he now has 1 lakh, how much should he invest in the name of his three sons so that when they reach 25, they get the same amount. So he's not investing the same amount. They should get the same amount. So their future value should be same. We want to find out what should be their present value so that when we add them, the addition comes out to be 1 lakh, the amount that the father has. So present value in this scenario, the first scenario, present value rate is 3.5%. So present value, normal formula was what? Future value, present value into 1 plus I power n. So present value, future value by 1 plus I power n. So future value x 1.035, 16 years. X 1.035, 13 years. X 1.035, 10 years. This adds up to give us 1 lakh. In some scenario question, it also comes out in the form of simple interest. So in that case, right now we are using compound interest formula. If it is mentioned simple interest, use the simple interest formula. So take x common and calculate these values directly using calculator. Calculate this. Calculate this bracket value. I got 1.9250. Did you all get this answer?
Ma'am.
Now subtract or divide 1 lakh.
1,947.27.
How much?
51,947.27.
Hmm. So the person, each of the student, each of the son gets this much. How much each son receives after getting this much? None of these. None of these. The same question could have also come in the form of simple interest. So rather than applying this future value, present value, use simple interest formula. Is it understood?
Ma'am.
Okay. Question. We have already done this in class. Appu retires at 60 years, receiving a pension of 14,400 a year paid in half-yearly installment. So if in the entire year he gets 14,400, which is 2 installments. So in each installment he is getting how much? 7,200. That is the pension. So that is the annuity. Half-yearly for the rest of his life. Right? His expectation is 13 more years. So the time period is 13 years. But we calculating half-yearly. So it is 26 installments. Rate is 4%, but half-yearly. So we will do the sum using 2%. What single sum is equivalent to his pension? This means commuted pension. That means if rather than taking every 6 months 7,200, if you would have withdrawn his pension today in one go, how much he would have got? Rather than saying that don't pay me every year, every 6 months this much, you give me a lump sum amount today. I'll withdraw it in one go. Then how much will his pension be worth is what we are supposed to find. So basically, we need to find out present value of his pension. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So present value of pension 7,200, 1 minus 1.02. Calculate. Options are wrong if I'm not wrong. Right? 1,44871.45. This is the answer. Options are wrong. Options are wrong. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Try. 10 years ago, the earning per share of ABC Limited was rupees 5 share, and now it is 22. So this is present value. This is future value. Time 10 years. We need to find out rate. Only a fancy word is used. Trial and error. Answer.
Option C, ma'am.
No. Option A itself gives you answer. Option
But
A.
I think the closest is option C.
No. If option A gives me 22.0000.
Okay, ma'am.
Option A is giving me 22.0001.
Yes, ma'am. Option A.
Yes, ma'am.
C gives you 27.
I had a fault, ma'am.
70. Suppose you have decided to make a SIP in a mutual fund with 1 lakh every year from today. So this is annuity. For next 10 years, where you get return at the rate of 10%, we need to find out what is the future value of this annuity. Very basic direct question. We need to find out for the future value of an annuity of 1 lakh, rate 1%, 10%, period 10 years. Answer. Starting from today, it is due.
Answer. I'm getting 1753116. Can it be D?
Yeah. 2 rupees gap.
Okay.
Next. A man borrows rupees 4,000 from a bank at 10% per annum compound interest. At the end of every year, rupees 1,500 as part of repayment of loan and interest. How much is still owed to the bank after 3 such installments? So, start year 1. The 4,000 is the loan amount. What interest? 10%. What will be the interest on 4,000? Loan 4,000, interest 10%. So 400, right? Amount, it should have been 4,400. He returned how much? 1,500. How much is still due if you subtract? 2,900. So year 2, loan remaining 2,900, interest 10%. So 290. So add them, it is 3,190. Out of that, he is again returning 1,500. How much is due? 1,690. Year 3, 1,690, 10%, 169. Add them, 1,859. But he has returned 1,500. Remaining is 359. So how much is still owed to the bank after 3 such installments? So he has returned 1,500 thrice. How much is still left?
359 option.
359 rupees, option A. It is still left. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Read the question. Find the present value of an annuity which pays 200 at the end of each 3 months, that is quarterly, for 10 years, assuming money is worth 5% compounded quarterly. We need to find out present value, very direct question. 5 by 400, that is 1.0125. 10 years, 40 installments. Calculate. Answer.
None of these. No.
No. I'm getting this 6265.38. I got this answer.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
All of you got the answer?
Ma'am.
So that's the end of time value marathon.